Hi, my name is Rod Cleef, and I'm the host of the Lifetime Cash Flow Through Real Estate Investing podcast. And every week I interview multifamily rock stars, and we talk about how they've built incredible wealth for themselves and their families through multifamily properties. So hit the like and subscribe buttons to get notified every Monday when a new episode comes out. Let's get to it. Welcome to another edition of How to Build Lifetime Cash Flow Through Real Estate Investing. I'm Rod Cleef, and I'm thrilled you're here. And I know you're going to enjoy my friend who I'm interviewing today. He's been on the show before. His name's Kyle Mitchell, and Kyle runs APT Capital Group, and he's also got a couple of podcasts. One of them's Passive Income Through Multifamily Real Estate, and the other one's Asset Management Mastery, which is more recent. And we're going to have a lot of fun today because he just wrote a book as well called Best in Class. So, Kyle, welcome back, brother.
Rod, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to be here and to chat with you today.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, I guess let's, there's no reason having you tell your background again. I mean, I know you got 41 million in assets under management right now, and you've got a lot going on. I remember speaking at your meetup. God, that seems like a lifetime ago. Went the last LA boot camp I had, or the one before the last anyway, but I know you've just written this book, so let's just go there. Let's talk about asset management a bit. So, let's start there. Why is asset management important?
Yeah, I think over the last 10, 12 years, you could have gotten into this business and let the market do its work and really just hand the keys over to the property management company and done everything wrong and still made money. But it's a different time right now. And really, people don't understand that when you're buying apartments, you're buying multi-million-dollar businesses, tens of millions of dollars of a business, right? And you need to understand how to run that business. So I don't think it's a time anymore where you can just hand the keys over to the property management company and say, hey, execute my business plan, raise the rents, and that's it. You need someone that's really managing the asset, managing your business plan, putting systems in place to hold the property management company accountable, and also to work side by side to get the best results from your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And really, I believe you treat your property manager as a partner, but in any partnership, you've got to have a firm understanding of accountability and so on and so forth. Well, let's drill down on this some more, and then I want to circle around to your book. When you're communicating with a property management company, third-party property management company, talk about what that communication looks like, just for people that have no clue. How often is it? What's discussed? Maybe you could just talk about, I know we do weekly calls. I assume you probably do as well. But if you could just drill down on that, because I don't think that's ever been discussed on the show. So it'd be really interesting.
Yeah, we do our weekly calls. And for us, we really started with an interview process to pick the right property management company, right? We only focus in the Arizona market. So we're not with several different groups. We have one property management company. And we spent 4, 5, 6 months choosing that property, selecting them based on, who their regional managers were, what is their infrastructure, what is their buying power in the market, what are their systems in place, are they open to technology? But once you have that in place, we do have our weekly calls with our property management company. And then there's probably a couple emails or phone calls in between, depending on where in the business plan we are. If the property's stabilized, it's probably once a week or maybe even every other week. But if we're in the value add phase, it's definitely a couple times a week. And we have other tools that we utilize that's more for the team to share, like a tool like Trello, for example, is a tool we use for renovations, which everyone is on and invited.
What's the tool? I'm sorry, I was distracted for a second.
Yeah, it's called Trello, Trello.
Oh yeah, Trello.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And so all of our renovations are tracked on that tool, and everyone is involved into it, from our on-site manager, rehab team, regional manager, and then obviously our whole team, so that we can kind of communicate through that and see where the renovations are tracking to hold them accountable. But the communication with the team is extremely important. We have our own customized reports that we've built that we want every week in order to ask the right questions. That's what asset management is really about. It's not asking, hey, what's our occupancy? How many leases did you get last week? You should already know that stuff from the information you're getting from your property management company. And then it's about taking that information and asking the right questions.
Nice. By the way, I want to circle back to something you just said, and that was, and we glossed over it, we're moving kind of fast here, and that is, interviewing property management companies. I can tell you, you've been blessed because you've stayed in the same market. We're in 5-6 markets right now. And I can tell you, we learn more about a market interviewing our third-party property management companies than probably anything else that we do. And guys, I've got a free resource. I want to throw it out there right now. I'm thinking about. It's called How to Hire a Third-Party Property Management Company. It's free, and it's got every possible question you can think of in it that I can think of anyway. And to get it, you just text management to 72345. That's management to 72345. It's an incredible resource. It's got a bunch of links and stuff in it as well. So that'll help you. So that's the first piece, is making sure you get the right company. And again, you're going to learn so much. I would, even if the first one you talk to sounds fantastic, I would encourage you to interview a bunch more, because there's just so many nuances you'll get interviewing, because they know what the rents are, they know what expense rate, a certain line item expenses should run. They know where best to market in that MSA or submarket that you're in, and so it's just an incredible resource. Okay, so. And you mentioned Trello. Yeah, we use Asana, pretty much the same thing, project management, and it's where everyone can communicate and track a deal. I love it. Great tip there. And that's what, guys, you want that when you're there's a lot of moving parts especially when you're doing a reposition and a value add on a deal, and everybody needs to be on the same page. And in fact, I'm dealing with a problem one right now that's unorganized. Kyle and I mentioned it to Kyle before we got started here. But that's how you pull it all together with some project management software like that. And so drill down a little bit more. You said, you should already know what the occupancy is. You should already know, what the collections look like, and, what the defaults look like, and what the age payables look like, and so on and so forth. So what sorts of questions might you be asking after you get that information? So let's drill down a little deeper, Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely. It is about peeling the layer back a little bit further, right? And so let's just take leads, for example. You don't want to ask how many leads you're getting in or how many conversions. The next question is, why are we not converting there? What are the challenges there on conversions? Is it bad leads? Or is it the fact that we don't have enough staff to get back to the leads on time? Or do we not have the right leasing person in there because they're not selling the property? Or are our rents too high? Those types of things. So you really want to get into the details of things so you can fix things and then come up with solutions to those problems, right? Things like high level, what occupancy is, those are a waste of time, and you want to get into the details that are going to drive NOI. Yep.
And let me embellish what you just said as well, especially as it relates to that particular topic, which is conversions on leads to signed leases. You should look at that process every step of the way. First of all, are there enough leads coming in? Number one. What's the response time from your team when a lead comes in? Because if it's not immediate, they're going to keep looking. Then do they come in for an appointment? So the conversion at that point, are they able to successfully get them to come in? Then when they get them to come in, how many actually do an application? Then when they get applications, how many turn into a lease? You get the idea. You're basically looking at every stage and evaluating every stage. Okay, how about another example of something you might drill down on? Because I'd like to go a little more micro with this, Kyle.
Yeah. So one thing that we do, I took this from the golf industry. They used to do what was called a secret shopper report. They hire a company to come in, they'd sit down, they'd have an experience there, and then they would rate that experience, whether or not they were served, whether or not they were upsold, whether they got a receipt, got the correct change. So we do the same thing for all of our properties. So we do an online inquiry and a phone call, and we have an 80-point system, and we want them to get a 90% or better on the scorecard. And it talks about all types of things, whether it's a professional response. Was the response done in less than an hour, or was it done in a day or 2 days or 3 days? Was there follow-up? Did it look like they just copy and pasted an email? And did they answer the questions directly? Things like that. And then we use that as a training tool to improve our process of how we communicate to our residents. We also want to add value to our residents or potential residents even before they live in our property, right? So in our emails and communication, we're sending them things like local jobs, local restaurants, shopping, schools, things like that, so they can get to learn the area a little bit more. Because a lot of people are coming from out of state, right? This is their first time in this area. So you want to help add value to those potential residents even before they step foot on the property.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff. Okay. So talk about other components of asset management. You go ahead and just elaborate on some other things that you're going to describe in your book.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have everything from the great part about the book is you can flip to due diligence if you're in due diligence. You can flip to leasing and marketing if you're at that. You can flip to disposition if you're in that phase. But it's really about being proactive. It's about identifying bottlenecks before they happen and really looking at things 30, 60, 90 days in advance so that you can solve those problems before they even happen. But it's a lot about working hand in hand with the property manager. I like what you said earlier, Rod. It's not about micromanaging your property management company. It really is about partnering with them. And in our process, we actually make the property management company better as well. They've learned a lot of different new systems that they're implementing throughout their whole portfolio, and they're better because of it. But a lot of it has to do with like the training of the leasing or renovation management. I think those are the two key topics when we talk about asset management that we really want to focus on. Training the leasing agent on things like looking at lease trade out. You know, if you have a large portfolio, you have like things like LRO, which are lease rent optimization tools. But when you're just first starting out 1 to 3 properties, you don't have all those expensive tools to help you. And so you need to learn how to manage your business and train your leasing staff on how to look at the rent roll and where the market rents are and what you're charging for that next unit that just got leased up. And so lease trade out is one that we really pay attention to. Lease trade out means what was it previously leased for and what is the new lease for? So if you're leasing it for $1,000 now and the previous lease was $900, the lease trade out is $100. You want to see a positive gain there, obviously. And then resident retention is a huge one that we work with our property management company with as well. If you can retain your residents, I mean, less turnover. Turnover is one of the biggest costs to any business, no matter what business you're in.
The biggest.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we really focus on retention of our residents, making sure that they feel safe, they love the place. We even do like a renewal anniversary letter instead of just a renewal letter, right? So it's thank you for staying with our property for a year. We appreciate that you're a loyal resident of ours, and it just repositions the mindset a little bit, right? We're still asking for a rent increase, we're still asking for a renewal, but now their mindset is, hey, they really appreciate us and they're welcoming us.
Nice. Okay. Talk about any other things that you might do to create culture at an asset to make residents feel like they're part of a community instead of just writing checks. Is there anything that you do in that vein?
Yeah, I mean, the anniversary letter is a good one. Now with COVID, it has been much more difficult to do resident events, but we've done an online resident event. We did one for Halloween where everyone dressed up, hopped on Zoom. We had a winner and you post the winner, but it's also just the communication and listening to your residents, right? Listening to what's going on. And so if there's a little bit of crime, don't just say you're going to fix it, actually do something to fix it, make them feel safer. And I think that's gone a long way. There was a huge uptick in crime in the Phoenix area during COVID because no one else had anything else better to do. And so there was crime. And so we hired security patrol. We gave them phone numbers to call in. We made sure the police were coming around. And so those types of things, it's backing up what you say you're going to do goes a long way in building culture. And our resident retention has increased because of that.
Nice. Let's talk about renovation management for a moment. Let's come up with some strategy and tips around, managing. It can be cumbersome. I'm heavily involved in one right now that's significant, and I know firsthand from previous how cumbersome they can be. Why don't you give some tips there?
Yeah, man, renovation management is one that you're always trying to pick away at. It's not easy to deal with contracts and vendors. The one benefit we have is that our property management company has an in-house GC and rehab team. But still, nowadays with materials rising, with labor being tough to find, it is a challenge. And so ordering things in bulk, sitting down with the team and really talking through your process every month or even every week is important. But that Trello board has been invaluable for us. And in that Trello board is not just the unit that's being renovated and where it is in the process. It's also when the move out date is, when the actual move out date is, when the move in date is, what the cost of the turn or the rehab is, and what the old lease and the new lease is. So we've got a lot of information in there. And on our weekly calls, we have our rehab team hop on the call and we talk through each of these things going on, whether it's, hey, appliances are backward, what can we do? Which we order 20 sets at a time if we're doing a large renovation so we can stay ahead of it. Rising costs, do we need to adjust our business plan or the types of materials that we're using to get them in a little bit quicker and also to save on costs? And so it's about open communication. They understand that we're trying to get to a common goal and we're not just trying to drill down on them. And I think it's just working with them as a partner, but also having a tool that allows organization. If you don't have a tool, that's where the problem comes in, right? No one knows anything. It's like, hey, why are we here? What are we doing? And then you have the same conversation week after week after week, and you don't make any strides. And so whether it's Excel or a tool like Trello, which is free, just have some type of project management tool where you can all work together and try to accomplish that common goal.
Nice, nice. So what else is in your book? It's called Best of Class, and it comes out when? June
29th. You can pick up the ebook a couple days before. It's 99 cents on Amazon.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, good. Well, you hit bestseller with that for sure. That's awesome. Good. I did the same strategy with my book and it works very, very well. Yep. So, awesome. And it's called Best in Class. Just kind of give us a summation of what's in it. I know, cause I read it already. I appreciate you letting me read it in advance, but
yeah, absolutely. Well, first, it's an overview of asset management. What is asset management? I think a lot of people get confused because they feel asset management is property management, which it's completely not. But we take you through the steps of building a team, how to build out the right external team and internal team. We talk about going through due diligence, all the things you need to know, getting a peek under the hood, making the right decision, not doing a deal just to do a deal. And then we go into like some deep dive, not the sexy stuff, right? That's what asset management is. It's not the sexy stuff, but it's the stuff that's really important. Budgeting and financial analysis, how to read your financials, what is a balance sheet, what is a cash flow statement, what is a general ledger, things like that. We go into legal side of things a little bit, and then managing the manager, KPIs, leasing and marketing, renovation management, all those things and tools to use in order to get the best out of your asset management.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, guys. Well, Best in Class is the name of the book. And this will probably go live right when that comes out. So it'll be perfect. In fact, I'll make sure it comes out after you've gone live with that. So that'll be perfect. What didn't I ask you that I should have, buddy? This is short and sweet, but I just want to get your book some traction because it's really well written and it deserves it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, it's just about, there's a lot of talk out there and about getting your first deal and raising capital, which are all things you need to learn about. But don't forget about the business side of things, about the operations and management side of things, because that is really where the real money is made. And it can make or break your deal if you're not managing your operations properly. So either have someone on your team that has a background in management operations, or go get the training from other people, get with people like Rod and other people who are already doing it and learn from them on that side, because it is such a huge piece when you're faced with even a COVID-19 over the last 12 months, right? If you don't know what you're doing, man, you will get absolutely crushed. And so it's really important to understand that operations and management side of things.
Love it. Love it. Well, thanks. Good to see you. Say hello to your bride for me. It's great to see you, my friend. And we'll talk soon, brother.
We'll do. Same to you. Thanks, Rod.
You bet.
Rod, I know a lot of our listeners are wanting to take their multifamily investing business to the next level. Now, I know you've been hard at work helping our Warrior students do just that using our ACT methodology, which is awareness, close, and transform. Can you explain to the listeners how they can get our help?
You bet. Guys, we've been going nonstop for 3 years, building an amazing community of like-minded people. And our coaching students, which we call our Warriors, have had extraordinary results. They've purchased thousands and thousands of units. And last year, we did over 1,000 units with our students. And we're looking to grow this group and take it to the next level. We're looking for people who want to follow a proven framework that's really step by step and then leverage our systems and network to raise equity, to find and close deals, and to build partnerships nationwide. Now, our warrior community is finding success in any market cycle. So if you're interested in finding out more about how you can become more of our incredible network and take advantage of the incredible opportunities that are coming very soon, apply to work with us at mentorwithrod.com or text CRUSH to 72345 and we'll set up a call so you can check us out and we can check you out. That's mentorwithrod.com or text CRUSH to 72345.